So we look at the All-Stars kicking off again. We can just have a look at this wind. That's very blustery and blowing things all over the place this morning. All-Stars had a pretty decent start to the tournament yesterday, whereas the Elephants tended to struggle a bit yesterday.
Yeah, they did, and you know, I think a factor into this is going to be that wind, as you said. It didn't look like that went 10, but ref thought it did. It bounced back. All-Stars now having that ball. They did start off very well yesterday morning, but then 10s started to elude them, as we said, in the latter stages of the tournament. But they look like they're trying to go wide now, but Elephants doing well to try and hold them up. They managed to get back down to ground, though. And looks like they might have one of their big runners into the middle, but a bit of crossing there. Scrum Elephants.
Yeah, absolutely. Quite tough playing this first half into the wind. Elephants just seem to be a bit more confident in their defensive system, making good decisions at the breakdown and setting their line quite well. So just really hell-bent on getting off the line, closing down the space of the All-Stars, who have a couple of dangerous runners. And now they have an attacking opportunity on the 10-meter line, middle scrum. Very dangerous position.
Oh, definitely. It could go either way with it. They've lined up in behind, so nice tight setups. They could go either way, and they have. They've gone a switch play round, trying to attack that left-hand side, but get caught. A good clear there, important clear, otherwise that was going to be a turnover. Another carry, they're flooding numbers into it because the breakdown was something that Elephants struggled with on day one, so they're definitely putting their numbers in. We mentioned we might see a lot of pick and goes with this weather, with this wind. I can't tell you how bad it is here, so we thought we might see some pick and goes, and we are seeing them now, but need to get that support in quickly. Another good clear and carry into here. Are they going to pick and go the whole way, Paul?
Looks like it. They certainly are quite a physical team. They were looking to impose themselves physically most of the day yesterday. Obviously just ran into a couple of teams who are very, very good with ball in hand and in space. That tripped them up a bit, but certainly wouldn't surprise us both if they do pick and go all day. And hopefully get a maul or two.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you are a big fan of the maul. We didn't see too many, but I think you might see quite a lot today, assuming that the lineouts can go straight in this wind. But there's a good carry here as Elephants are working their way to the try line. Some good footwork there. Weaving around, just inches away now. Can they find a way to that try line? No, not this time. Getting pushed back there.
And saying that, really good continuity from the Elephants. You mentioned that they did concede a few turnovers, and as I say it, conceding a turnover at that breakdown, maybe just running out of cleaners. Be interesting to see what the All-Stars try and do now out of their 22, playing into the wind.
Oh, some good footwork there and some gas
there from Ruben Farid. The kick downfield, it's just not working out. And now the Elephants racing back upfield. That's Jonathan Knipe. Just being tackled into touch. And that cat, unfortunate way to end things. We saw it happen far too often yesterday. Just players running out into touch or just not being aware of their position in space.
Yeah, and I think that it was a real factor on Saturday. You know, players going into there, and we were talking about having to get step back in. I think it is a credit to the defence that defences are getting so much better at covering it and getting across, but they do have a lot of space out there and want to get it to the gas men.
Oh, you're right. You have so much international experience at wing. And you mentioned it on Saturday. There's only one defender who never misses a tackle.
Yeah, Cardinal said any winger will tell you want to avoid that touchline as best as possible. So you want to gas it when it is on, but if there's a slight doubt, you need to just have that step back inside, set the platform, especially in 10s. You don't have all that much time, just 10 minutes each way. So you want to keep the ball as much as you possibly can.
I think that was very generous of the referee, bringing the All-Stars all the way back to let them play their advantage after 3 or 4 passes. And again, the All-Stars, nice to see them being brave, Kat, trying to send that ball to the edge.
Yeah.
I think it's just important for us to let the viewers in on how really, really difficult it is in this wind.
Oh, yeah, like the flags are really going, and it's going to be so hard to manage the weather. The Elephants choosing for the pick and go route as one option of being able to manage it. We're expecting to see a lot of kicks in as well, especially when you are playing with the wind. But Elephants, they're doing route 1 right now.
They are. Very good carry there from Kemp. And they certainly have improved their breakdown ability. I think as well, Kat, just having a look at the first few minutes of this game, their fighting contact's been very, very good. They've carried well. Yesterday, I almost felt for them being, really big physical specimens, they kind of got chopped a bit, didn't really fight very hard in the tackle, and also didn't really fight on the ground. Whereas today, you can see them working back to where their cleaners are coming from. The cleaners are actually in there a bit quicker, so they've been able to keep possession of the ball.
Absolutely. I think the coaching staff would have seen how they went on Saturday. They'd have wanted to be improving upon what they had before. So broke down clearly an area that they've got in much quicker, much less turnovers. There was a few holding on penalties on Saturday, which they're going to want to avoid today.
And this is quite interesting here. As you can see, they're all stacked to the right. And again, I think they're just gonna force the power play in here. Maybe run it in hard with one of their hard-nosed ball carriers, and then, as you were saying, look to pick and go. They have tried to split the field there, but again, in we go. There, one pass, running hard, cleaner in there, playing it back to the forwards on the left-hand side. It seems like they're very intent on keeping it tight.
Oh well, all of their players were. Oh, and there's been a yellow card infringement in there, but as we were saying, Elephants all within about 30 meters of the field. They're really in pretty tight. They're not stretching it. They're not asking the defense, and they've opted for a scrum off that penalty because they have that man advantage now.
Be interesting to see if they do change tact. Money is on them not doing it and continue to go
route 1
route 1 in between the middle.
Yeah.
But in saying that, Kat, you're very, very right. They do have one number up now, and I think they'd really be putting pressure on themselves to try and execute this move and put some points on the board going into the second half.
Yeah, well, All Stars just really haven't had much of the ball at all, have they? It's all been about Elephants and them just keeping it in tight. So they go off that scrum, they pick round to the right. Defence in there pretty quickly, but Elephants deal with it well. Almost stripped there in that contact point. We've been talking about the breakdown a lot. They're going over to the right. Big power runners coming in.
Fantastic. And over there goes. That's Lesh in there with a try. Fantastic short line. Knew what he wanted to do. And I really like the depth with which he came from. Nice and square, attacking in between two players. And giving the Elephants that important first try. You touched on it earlier. I think the All-Stars will be pretty happy with this first half, only being 5-0 down, playing against this really strong wind.
Yeah, they've been camped in their 22 for most of the game. So here's that replay. There's that line you said from Leash, that out to in. He does well. He lands. He's allowed to then present the ball. So he gets slightly short, presents it, and that's why he is able to score that one.
And nice to see some smiles from this talented Elephants team. We chatted about the tough day they had on Saturday. And for us who've had wonderful experience in the years in playing 7s and 10s tournaments, day one doesn't actually mean that much.
No, it really, really doesn't, because these teams, they might not have been, training is very different to games, and there you can see just how long that wind is with that mighty kickoff going almost over the try line, but a pass has gone loose here. Going to be in danger zone. It's behind his own try line. What's he going to do? He's going to run it, but he's got caught, and there's a drop ball there. Talk about pressure here. You said they wanted to play it, but did you expect them to play it from the dead ball?
I did not expect them to play it from behind the dead ball. Absolutely.
Yes, and now handing over possession for that 5-meter scrum now to Elephants, but that's all from that long kick. They were smart, they utilised the wind, just kicked it deep and pressure. I think you called it strangle earlier.
That's it, the way the South Africans play, suffocate and strangle.
That's the one, yeah. Okay, I was listening, see, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting though, as you were saying, just having a look at that kickoff from the Elephants, maybe, going into the second half, the people kicking off into the wind, the team receiving, I'd actually be inclined to leave the ball and let it run over the dead ball line, because the wind is so strong.
absolutely. I think that one would have gone all the way. That was really had a lot on it. But just temptation and wants to play with it, but we're going to see what they're doing here. But they really have been capped in their own 22. There's some nice running here. One hand offload, quite difficult in these conditions to know where they're going to go, but they get away with it, and they're really going down that right-hand side.
No.
Ruben Ferry carrying well again. As Kat mentioned, All-Stars haven't had too much ball possession, but they really look to be putting something special here together now. That's Caden Moller on the outside, getting that ball away to Breitenbach, and that's a fantastic finish, Kat. Starting deep in their 22, and I think maybe they're a bit smarter, keeping it a bit tighter, so kind of offloading kind of into the same hole, the same spaces, and then once the defense was a little bit cluttered and brought in a bit, they then moved the ball to the edge.
Yeah, I mean, there was 3 offloads there, right in that 5-meter channel, but really difficult to defend because they've stretched it really wide. They've got those offloads in, getting in behind the defense, and yeah, lovely finish there.
Certainly going to be a very interesting second half here, Kat. We always talk about going back years now, but they always chatted about Times Square, you know, how important it is to score in the minute or 2 before halftime. And then obviously coming out, the team who will see who's going to wrestle the impetus of this game. And the All-Stars gaining a lot of confidence from that last play and now turn around and have the wins at their back.
Absolutely, and yeah, that's it now. They know that they've got the wind, and they're going to really they're going to utilize that as well. So they had possession just once, it seemed like, in that first half. Not quite, but they didn't have it a lot, but they managed to, with the ball that they had, they ran the length of the pitch to score. So yeah, going to be really interesting to see what they can do into the second half.
It'll be interesting, Kat. We saw, as we said, the Elephants side backing their physicality and backing their ability to keep the ball in hand. Be interesting to see if the All-Stars will go the same route or possibly employ the kicking option.
Yeah, you've got to wonder. I think you've got to put boot to ball with these conditions. Just that initial one to put you in a good position because it's so hard to play out. They saw how difficult it was for a lot of that game, but yeah, I think they're going to. You would, wouldn't you, if you were out there? Foot race, kick it, foot race, put pressure on.
Absolutely, and the All-Stars certainly have a bit of pace there. I mean, we've seen Fari, we've seen a couple of the other players as well. Rapid, and as you're saying, if they could kick downfield, just possibly isolate the Elephants who were susceptible on Saturday to those turnovers at the breakdown, and again for the Elephants, really big thought has to go into how they're going to defend if the All-Stars team does decide to employ the kicking tactics.
We're going to see how this kickoff goes. For the All-Stars are set, almost like the classic 15 style, with the 2 players ready to take this ball. They're confident, but goes to the middle, and here's some pace. Over to the left-hand side, gets tackled, but a beautiful offload that doesn't quite go to hand, so fumbled there. But well, I think that answers your question of how they're going to want to play. They want to play fast and loose and wide. Yeah.
Fantastic feet there, and just the willingness to attack it. I think they will feel far more confident, you know, having the win at their backs now. They'll feel very happy, obviously scoring that try just before halftime, buoyed by a bit of confidence.
Yeah, 100%. It's such a, I had this theory that if you score just before halftime in a tight game, you're going to be the one that ends up winning it, because it does just shift that momentum with how things go. But it's Elephants at the minute with the possession from that knock-on. So there's a big hit in there, double tackle, but it was high, so Elephants have the penalty.
That really has been something the All-Stars did well yesterday. Very, very good at making those one-on-one hits. Unfortunately, the tackle just slipping up a bit. But we do, with the new rules now being put in place, we have to be so careful. I mean, chatting to the coaches, you're actually now looking at hitting under the ball.
Yeah.
As before, you would try and hit on the ball, shut it down. And now just you need to be so aware of slipping up, as happened there.
Messy scrum, but comes out. Nonetheless, some big shots going in there. Told that was okay. Looked like that sternum height. There's a bit of a battle for possession on the ground, but here we go again. Pick and go. Yeah.
Unfortunately, no, I don't think they have any other options, Kat. You know, first half, playing with the wind, would have had a few more options. But the guys do carry well. Again, started by the number 12, Jonathan Knightley, has carried well, you know, throughout this game. And now that they're in behind the All-Stars, just gathering a bit of momentum, actually really plays into the hands of this physically dominant, at the minute, Elephants team.
Yeah, there were hands in there that thought might get a holding on penalty, but actually was beaten by the ruck. But you can see the All-Stars really trying to get in there and steal. Another pick and go.
Yeah, it's the big boy Lesh again, taking them on. Into the hands of Van Steen. There's Jonathan Live again, looking to carry very close now to that try line. And it looks like they've gone over. That, I think, is number 6, Toby Rulofse. Also put some very, very good work in that passage of play. Again, catchers looking at them, like you said, literally all 10 players in 10 meters.
Yeah, they really tightened up in that. And that can be difficult to defend. I mean, it's not the prettiest of rugby styles, let's say, but no one cares about how pretty it is if they win. And that just shows the win there. A proper banana style kick. So they're getting set up, a platform and a good low carry there for the try.
Really, really like that little attempted conversion by Marius Grebeno. Just shows the thought process that has to go in when kicking into the wind.
As a non-kicker myself, I thought this is an odd angle to go at it, but no, that was almost boomerang round.
And look at the Elephants now, Kat, changing things up, actually winning a breakdown penalty, and seems like they've flipped the script a bit here. I was thinking the All-Stars would really kind of wrestle this game away from the Elephants in the first, say, 3 or 4 minutes, and it's been completely the opposite.
Yep. Yeah, they've and I think, as you said, day one doesn't necessarily show you in a tournament exactly what you're going to bring, because you start to click together as a team. You have tactics. You learn who's doing what and how to link together. So Elephants clearly deciding that they're good at that.
Unfortunately, Moabi just losing that. But again, the Elephants seem to be very comfortable with their strategy, Kat. They know what their roles and responsibilities are, and at the moment they're executing it very well.
Well, that's it. If you all buy into a system, no matter what system it is, it almost doesn't matter as long as it suits your players. If you all buy into it, it's going to work, and they've gone with this strategy. Now, what you have to think about, though, in a 10s tournament is the next game, their opposition are going to be expecting it, so will it work as well? Who knows? So it's a big scrum, though, a lot of pressure on that, but it's spun round, so it'll be reset.
Okay, interesting to see the Elephants have actually put 2 players back. You can see the winger on the far side, and it seems like they've put a sweeper back. The number 10 in Liam Greef is back. So obviously trying to nullify that kick option, but that means for the All-Stars, who are incredibly dangerous on attack, that there's space somewhere.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised almost that they're not even a bit deeper, because especially with the wind, you'd think they might sit back, because they have gone flat, and exactly for this reason. You can see now that that's a big long kick in there. A nice kick though, because he's going to sit up short, and there's a lot of pressure on here for the youngster, but he's done amazingly
Fantastic work by Luke Barnard to get away from those 2 All-Stars chasers, and up the field he goes. It's very different now for the Elephants. They seem to be spread across the field. See if they creep in again, Kat, and just go back to there. What they're going to do.
We've had enough running, thank you. Let's get back to our safe zone. That's a good carry, though. Some really strong leg drive in here. The try scorer carries again. But no, they are looking to there we go. We've got a loose offload.
Xavier van Steen getting his hands free nicely there into the hands of Toby Roloff, so carried quite well there.
And you can see those players flooding in tight to that short side, but they've opted to go right. Thought about going for a kick, but with this conditions, pretty tough, but we're playing with an advantage.
Playing with advantage. Kat, what would you be thinking to do now?
For which team? For Elephants?
For the Elephants. They're now deep in All-Stars territory, just over, or just under 3 minutes left in the game. They're pretty much in control. You know, the All-Stars have to score, convert a try to tie it up.
Yeah, they'd probably play tight, won't they? Yeah, go for that scrum, keep it tight, don't get a turnover. But yeah, I would have someone back a little bit deeper when they are defending, because he did really well, the youngster, to have gas and to go across. But if he got caught there, he was pretty isolated.
Very, very true. And we can have a look at the Elephant setup again. They're all stacked to the left. I'd almost like to see them split the field, possibly just play into that short side, the blind side, then pick up, play into the big forwards, you know, in the middle there. Looks like they want to take the ball to the edges, and unfortunately in this wind, that's the risk.
But also, if you do put someone on that right-hand side, the All-Stars have to put someone on that side as well, which opens you up for more space. So I'll never understand stacking fully onto one, because the defence know where it's going and they can defend a lot more easily.
Very, very true, Kat. And it's actually a really good point that you've made. So 10s and then 7s. Just looking at, even at international level, we split the field far too, or not often enough is the field split. It's very easy, you know, if you're defending a breakdown on the edge, it's very easy to defend that. Whereas if you're defending a middle breakdown, or you know, one on the 15 where the team is splitting you, very difficult.
Well, you have to react so quickly as well, because it can go either side. You can then, what you're wanting to do is find those gaps between defenders. You're not likely to have clear, massive gaps in the middle, because the defence's quality is there. But what you will find, if one player is drifting across too fast compared to another, then there might be gaps, and they found the gap here. He's done really, really well.
Real opportunity missed there from this All-Stars team, missing touch. But they've regained the ball.
Yeah, they haven't been done for holding on this whole time. We spoke about that being a theme of the week. But that one coming in at an important moment as well, with only 45 seconds left on the clock.
The All-Stars will probably look to try and score under the poles. No, easier said than done. But they need a converted try to level this one up.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's a very good carry from Gurdra Kobra. And over he goes. What a fantastic carry.
In the dying seconds of the game, he really was a strong carrier in there. But can they get the kick? Because it is a difficult one. It is with the wind, though.
I think he's nailed it. Oh, fantastic. So now they've got one more opportunity. I doubt they're going to be able to kick a contestable kickoff in this wind. Okay?
No.
But if they can drive this Elephants team back into their half, possibly put them under pressure, set up a really good chase line, they could be in the money.
I just love the try scored conversion, and it's just that sub me, the international sub me. I'm done. So I've done my work here. Thank you. Goodbye. It
looks like they have kicked the contestable kickoff. Ball being parried back into the hands of Wabi, who's had a good couple of carries in this game, and he's done quite well. But isolated there is Toby Rulofse. But again, he's done well to work back towards his support players.
Here we go. Because you now have to think, are Elephants happy with the draw because they're deep into their 22? Do they want to kick it out? No, they don't.
And they answer your question.
Go? Yeah, it did.
And again, Kat, hell-bent on the pick and goes, which have been very effective for them thus far. Almost setting a pod up in the middle there, and again, same side, they're going to move around. Good carry there.
Half a pitch of pick and goes. That's what we have to think about, because they've got a long way to go, but they decide they are going to get it out. But they're going to want to be safe, because we've seen how dangerous All-Stars are from nothing really, and they do play from their own 22.
do. All-Stars also getting off the line really well at the moment, making their one-on-one hits and making offensive hits. I mean, we have a look there again. Very, very good hit there from Ruben Fourie. Opportunity now for the All-Stars to hold this player up. Great work to the ground.
No, leave it!
Lesh again, looking to carry, looking to get in behind this All-Stars defense. See ties, a few tired bodies on the field now, Kat. Obviously a little bit high in the contact, not really able to make inroads into this All-Stars defense thus far.
And 2.5 extra minutes being played so far with the ball in play, and that's a long time in tens as extra play coming in. So you have to think about that. They don't want the draw, they want to play all the way up, but still a long way to go with this style of rugby.
Very long. You can see how they're all set again, as you see, literally all of them within 20-meter space. Someone as well taking a rest in backfield.
Yeah.
Not sure how happy his teammates are going to be with him.
Yeah, exactly.
And there they go, conceding the turnover. It'll be interesting to see what the All-Stars do. I reckon they're going to play it. There's space to the left.
Yeah, they want to play.
There's an opportunity for them to snatch this. It's not even at the death anymore, Kat. It's now fantastic play.
Edwin Smith showing his absolute pace through the middle there, but I've got a feel for Elephants. They had how many phases? Phase after phase after phase, and all it took was one from the All-Stars to really punish them in that, and then a casual conversion as well. But brutal finish there in the end.
Brutal finish. But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of tens.
Yeah.
Is that I think with 2.5 minutes to go, the Elephants actually quite comfortable all the way up in the All-Stars half, leading 12-5, and a couple of minutes later, you lose by a try.
Right back. Wow. Well, there we go. So it's the All-Stars that come away with the wins, but a hard-fought game from the Elephants there.